Friday show. We're at the end of generally a long, hectic week. We take a little break, try a new bourbon, and we meet somebody from the St. Louis startup community. So this week we're doing a little bit of something different. This is actually a company from Florida. So I'm very excited to welcome William and Tifany from Key2Enable. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So you guys are in town for just a couple days, right?
Yes.
And you were here because last night was the launch of Singularity University here in St. Louis, right? And you guys are kind of one of the featured speakers of the evening. So tell us, I guess before we get into talking about the board here, is actually kind of an interesting story from last night. So you had an interesting flight in. I want to hear a little bit more about this flight you were on last night.
I was supposed to be the speaker for Key2Enable last night, but the flight was supposed to arrive by 5:30. But we tried to land twice and couldn't do it because it's a lot of wind and a lot of shake and a lot of people screaming and throwing out. So we have to go up again, and we went down to Indianapolis and wait to almost 10 o'clock.
Really? Okay.
And we came down like almost 11 o'clock at night. Finally, like the flight was supposed to arrive at 5:30. I arrived like by 11.
Yeah. Well, I remembered I was at this event. We were live streaming, and there was a lot of thunder and lightning kind of behind the speaker there. So that must have been what you were flying through. Huh?
Yeah, and that's when I have to ask Tifany to do it.
Yeah.
And so she did it like
great
last
job.
call.
I mean, I didn't realize that was such a last
Thank
second
you.
switch.
Yeah. So I was there like presenting and everyone was, you, William?
Yeah.
Are you William?
It don't look like the picture I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was great. So
Yeah.
let's get into talking about your business. You guys were in town because Singularity University launched, and they obviously wanted to have you guys come speak because you do something very cool, right?
Yes.
So tell us about your business. What is Key2Enable?
Yes, Key2Enable was a company that we created this year to get into the market in the United States.
Okay.
Key2Enable is like a assistive technology company.
Okay.
We work with the people. We try to work with the people that was left out of most of the things, because every time the companies do something for disability, they always think about the people, like blind people has a lot of stuff, and deaf people have a lot of stuff. And we think about the people that was left out, people with cerebral palsy, people with multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's. People who has like a motor disability, very severe, that they can use the regular keyboard. And that's what we came out with this keyboard.
Yes, this is the Key X, right?
Yes, this is the Key X. It's a combination of 9 keys that can do the same job as a regular keyboard does.
Really?
This is good for people that can have a regular use for the regular keyboard. With this, they can browse the internet, they can play games, they can write, and this can work as a scan mode, they can work as a mouse, and they can do anything that you do on the regular keyboard, they can do with this.
Really? Okay.
They can also use in the cell phone to text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so just to be clear for our viewers here, these are people that normally almost can't communicate at all in a lot of cases,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So they have trouble speaking in a lot of cases. They can't use a traditional keyboard because they're physically disabled, right?
Yeah.
So before you guys created this and brought it to the market, what else would they do? Did they have another way to try to communicate, or is this kind of opening that up for them?
Yeah, the thing is, the guy that created the concept of the 9 keys, Gleison Fernandez, he used to use a pointer, something that is like a helmet that he used
like
to
a-
use it.
a head pointer.
Okay.
His take on that. But one thing that he don't have it with that is the privacy, because every time he needs to use a shift, he has to ask for a help, because
really?
he just can press one key with the pointer. So somebody else has to hold the shift for him. It's not the case with the Key X. The Key X gives the privacy. People can do, they can be by themselves, browse the internet, they can write to anything they wanted and send emails or write in like WhatsApp through a computer or tablet or a smartphone. And that's what we think to give to these people, an opportunity to do something that they don't have something else to work with. That is what Key X does.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So there are some other tools, but nothing with this technology. So yeah, it's mainly different tools that you need to combine. So that's an entire new product. We don't have any competitors. Yeah,
I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
exactly.
combined everything that we have a lot of people that works with something like, for example, the pointer is something that people use for this.
Sure.
But it's like I said, When they need to do like a shifting, it's something else. And another thing is the person has to be like there all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine that gets kind of
exactly
exhausting.
So
right?
and some people, they don't have these movements, for example. So that's why we created besides the keyboard, we have some accessories that can help other people too. People that can move their arms or legs, or sometimes have just one movement in the body, they can use another accessories to work with the computer and tablets.
Yeah.
Cool. So talk to us about how this works, right? So the first thing I want to point out is obviously the buttons. There's a lot of room, right? So there's not as much of a chance of somebody hitting multiple buttons.
Some people ask why you don't. This keyboard cannot be smaller. No, because we need to space out. Because people that has like a cerebral palsy, sometimes they comes with the hands open. So like this, they don't gonna touch two keys at once because this is a two commands keys. So you have to, like for example, in order to write the letter, on this case, for example, if you want the letter B, you're gonna touch the blue first, and then you have to go touch the orange. So if they do like this, they're never going to touch two keys with this space. But if we make this small, this keys is going to be closer, and then they can touch two keys at once, and that's going to make everything difficult, like the regular keyboard does.
Okay. Yeah, and that was the whole point, obviously, is to get away from the frustration of having all those keys bunched together, right?
Yeah, so it has to be big.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
and I think you said before the show there's 107 keys on a typical
on the regular,
keyboard, right?
Typical keyboard.
And this is 9.
9.
Wow.
It makes the combination to work with, it makes the same thing as a regular keyboard.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So give me an example here. Like, where is a case where this has been used by someone, and what are they writing when they first get a chance to use this for the first time?
Look, it's amazing when you see some kids that we've been selling in Brazil.
Okay.
And in Brazil, we have kids that they start using these keyboards, and some of the parents, they don't even know that the kids could write something. Because they cannot hold a pen or pencil in their hands, so they don't know if they can write or not. Once they got in touch with the keyboard, they start writing things, and their parents and teachers, they don't even know. And another thing is, a lot of these kids, they don't have an opportunity to be in a classroom.
Sure.
Because what happens is in the classroom, all these kids are writing things on a daily basis, and they cannot hold a pen or pencil, and they don't have something to write on it. So they cannot be in the regular classroom. Now, with this keyboard, kids with cerebral palsy are in the regular classroom because because they can write.
Wow. Okay.
So, and it's not only that. At home, they can play games like their brothers and sisters and cousins and neighbors, things that before they was just watching.
Yeah.
They don't have the opportunity, and if each individual with motor disability has different needs. Sometimes people say, "Oh, but we already have like the optical things that kids can use, or anybody can use it." But some people with like cerebral palsy, they have spasms that they can shake their heads.
Sure.
So the optical is not going to work for them.
Okay.
Some people say, "Oh, but you already have something that if you say something like Siri, they're going to write." But some people, they don't speak.
Yeah.
So the keyboard was created for all these people that was always left out.
It's interesting.
With no options.
Yeah, so it sounds like there just wasn't a product that was meant for that particular part of the market, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I want to get to an example you were telling me earlier. So you were telling me about there was somebody who's actually coding in Java using this. So how did that happen? That's pretty incredible.
Exactly. And the thing is, this kid, Daniel, he's learning how to code Java. And one thing is that he cannot move anything under his neck.
Really?
So he's actually using a glass with this.
Okay, now this is the accessory.
Yeah,
This is an accessory called iBlink. Goes on the eyeglass. And to set up a scan mode, the person has to blink their eyes 4 times just for the software to recognize their pace.
Okay.
Once they recognize their pace, they can start writing things. And now Daniel, after a few months using this, he's in the regular classroom, and he's learning how to code Java in something that he always wished to be like a programmer. And now he's learning with the iBlink We also has this button. That's the regular button that a lot of companies do. And with this, some people, they just can move like one little finger or pink.
Okay.
With this, it's the same thing that with the eye blink. With the 4 times, the software recognizes the pace. And once it goes on the scan mode, the person can, with their whatever they are using. Some people just can do like this with their pink,
with the
whatever.
phone,
like that,
whatever.
they can write, they can browse the internet, and they can play games.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are giving them like a modern life because imagine yourself without like accessing the internet. That's not a modern life. Yeah. So that's allowing them.
It's something that we always ask. If you stop for a second and think about yourself without communication.
Yeah. I have no idea. I mean, my life would be so incredibly different.
The Key X gives the opportunity for the person to communicate again.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like we have a person in Brazil that has Parkinson's that was already out of the work, and now he is working because he's using the Key X.
Really? Wow.
Like kids that were out of the classroom, now they are back into the classroom because of the Key X. It's like giving the opportunity to everyone to have a regular life, especially communicating. Because like you said, you can't imagine yourself without communicating. And that's what we do with Key X, giving opportunity to everyone communicating.
That's incredible. So this is obviously a very cool, motivating mission. How did you guys get into the business? What's your background that kind of got you here?
Yeah, the reason I got involved on this is I've been called by my friend and partner, Rubinger. We've been friends for many, many years. And Rubinger has friends with the people in the factory and the guy that created the concept, Gleison Fernandes, and Alexandre, that it's the guy that does the educational system with us. And together, we made a team that we team up to be a Key2Enable, this startup company here in the US, with this keyboard and this other technology. And besides that, we are researching to try to bring other things in the assistive technology world.
Okay, so this is the first product, and then you're looking to expand in other areas?
Exactly. One thing that it must be clear also, we have these accessories, but this keyboard is a plug-and-play keyboard. Any accessory that is available in the world from any other manufacturers can be used with the keyboard.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have your others?
No.
They can, okay, very cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Tifany? How did you get involved?
Yeah, so as a Brazilian moving to the US because I just got transferred in my regular job. So I work for a company. I have an IT background.
Okay.
I got transferred to the US and I wanted to be part of the team just to spread the message. As a Brazilian and knowing them and the project for a couple of years, I totally believe in it, and it's something that it really is impact me and people all around the world. So I wanted to be part of the team and to help it to spread the message here in the USA.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I know you guys are based in Florida.
Yeah.
Right? You're here in St. Louis. I heard some talk of applying for an Arch grant maybe. It's like something that brings a lot of companies to St. Louis. Any chance you'll end up here in the future, or what's your status there?
Yes, one of the things we are looking to is we have to be, we try to expand. We just opened our first office in Florida, and we are trying to get involved with the other communities. And of course, here in Midwest is something that we need to have an office. Sure. And we are looking for the opportunity that may be coming to St. Louis and be here to attend the school systems and foundation associations in the area.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we applied to Arch grants, and then so if we got it, for sure we'll be here.
Yeah. Well, I think you it helped by being there last night. I know there's a lot of people from Arch grants at the dinner we went to, right? So. Well, tell me about, you're involved in Singularity University. They obviously asked you to come speak. Have you guys worked with them before last night, or what's your involvement with them?
So we apply, and Singularity, they have a program that they looking for companies that can impact 1 billion people in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And all these companies, when they look at, and we are one of the portfolio companies from Singularity University. We are chosen by them as a lifetime venture. Okay. And now we are like part of Singularity family.
Gotcha. Okay. That's how they got you involved.
Exactly.
Very cool. All right. Well, we're excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to go ahead and transition to the kind of last part of our show here, and that's to invite Eric from Tenacity on. I think we had a little microphone snafu, so we're going to let Eric clip his microphone on first. But welcome, of course, Eric, as always. Of course. Excited to hear from you. So tell us about, okay, I'll buy you some time here while you clip that on. We'll sing a little tune or something. Okay. Good. So tell us, what are we drinking here today, Eric?
So, had a very last minute decision to make, but this is Evan Williams 12 year, and I thought, since you're from Brazil, I thought I'd bring a bourbon in that really isn't available in the United States. Even though it's made here, all bourbon's made in the United States.
Okay.
That's only sold overseas and in the Heaven Hill gift shops.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, had special guests, people from out of town, last minute decision.
Man,
Let's bring the best thing I got on the bar.
Wow, thank you.
I think I remember this.
Which is why there's a little bit out of it right
Yeah, it's not entirely full. I've probably had that one for quite a while. I imagine.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Well, I think we got about 5 minutes left, and there was one last conversation that we wanted to have. And one thing that I think is really interesting about your business, and we were talking about before the show, is the fact that you're focused on this really small kind of overall part of the market, right? So the part that no one else was really serving. And I think that that's something that when we talk about startups, everybody always wants to talk about the billion-dollar company that everybody, Facebook, right? Oh, everybody in the world uses it. And I think that there are a lot of these kind of smaller niche groups of people that get ignored, as you said, right? So what do you think, I guess first of all, how did you guys decide to get into that niche? And are there things we could be doing to help other startups kind of think that way and look for those smaller underserved groups?
I think it's the people that is always left out. They looks like they don't have too many zeros in the numbers, but there's still a lot of zeros in there because in the United States we have over 10 million people with a motor disability. It's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
It's in the world is over 200 million people. So it's a big number. It's a big number still, and especially because you cannot access all these people at once. It takes a long time to access everybody. So, and these people, they need it because, like I said, they always left out because they always think about the other disabilities that has more people and more money involved. And that always government gives more money for other disabilities also. So that's why we think is that we always tell everybody, get involved because you can make money on that. But more than that, you can help people that really needs help.
Sure.
You know?
Exactly. And we all have stories in our families or friends. So we always know someone that it's facing one disability, and that touches us a lot. So because I have in my family, he has in his family, so we really believe in the project.
My youngest son has Down syndrome, so I got involved with the disabilities, and I know how hard it is. My wife, she fights on a daily basis for everything that my son needs in the school, and it's not easy. And for people that it's left out is worse because they just say, oh, I'm sorry, but we don't have anything. Really? Now, the school cannot turn these kids out again because now the KeyX is something that can bring these kids to classroom. So now it's like schools cannot say, oh, I'm sorry, you have to take your kids home because it's not we can do it here. No, you can. With the KeyX, you can do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that's, for me, I think maybe that's where we can encourage people to go after some of these markets is like, maybe the money's not as big, but the impact, who you're helping and what the lives you're changing, obviously. If you're the kind of person that can't get motivated by that, then there's probably something wrong with you. That's pretty exciting stuff, right?
Yeah. And last night at the event, when you were speaking, I'm like, exactly. Was about digital divide, but so often we don't talk about the other digital divides, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about urban environments and all of that, but we don't talk about people with disabilities. We don't talk about people in rural areas or anything like that.
Yeah, it's part of our lives, especially if you look around you, he always has somebody that has someone in their families with this ability. And it's hard. You know, I know a lot of families in South Florida, and it's always hard for us to get anything for our kids. It doesn't matter what kind of disability. But something like a moral disability, people always is left out. And that's why we were trying to work here with these people that have no other option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are also like finding new ways to use the keyboard. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
so,
are some of the new ones you've found?
yeah, no, for example, like some of the people that are using like the optical recognition, they are usually tired of that because it's too difficult or with the talking you need to talk like the commands like shift A, shift that, space, like they just got bored. So it's a new way. So it's something,
It's not
yeah.
different,
And
yeah.
for adults, like for stroke, Parkinson, so
Sure.
it can help like many people, and we are just discovering that.
It's hard when you know that you can do it, but you don't have an option how to do it. I remember when I have like a Bell's palsy that it's like a facial stroke. I was trying to drink on the first day. I was trying to drink water. In my mind, I was doing the right thing, but the water was coming out because it's. I said, but I can't do it. How can I do it? I just give me straws, and the straws I could drink water.
Yeah.
It's just when you have the right tool,
Sure.
you can
Yeah.
do anything you know. If anybody on the regular life does, and that's what we're trying to do with the Key2Enable.
Yeah, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I think to wrap things up, probably the final thing we should ask is, how can someone get this? So if they have a family member that this could definitely help,
Yeah.
what do they do?
They can go to our website,
Okay.
Key2Enable.com, but they also can go and get some more information on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We are everywhere. On YouTube, it has a lot of videos also. And in July 1st, we're going to be selling, beginning of July 1st, we're going to be selling here in the United States.
All right, cool. So just a few weeks from now.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, all of you, for joining us today, obviously.
Thank
This is
you.
very
Thank you for
exciting. I mean,
inviting
I
us.
love the mission. I think, obviously, Singularity University bringing you guys is pretty exciting. So looking to see what happens over the next couple of years for you. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for my name.
Thank you.
Cool. So to wrap things up, thank you always for tuning in. Bourbon Friday every Friday at 4:30. You are welcome to join us. Just please send us a message. We have an event every single Friday. Starts at 4 o'clock down here at T-Rex. So thank you to T-Rex. Thank you to Vanessa Lobo for running the stream for us and taking care of the production. I'm Nick Niehaus, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you next week.